Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new League of Legends video. So I feel like it's been a long time since I've made a discussion type video, so I thought it's about time. These are the kind of videos where I just talk about a certain topic and I want you guys to get involved by giving me your thoughts on the topic as well. So what we will be discussing today is champions that never die, or in other words, champions that I personally think are always strong no matter how many nerfs they have received. Champions that got nerfed several patches in a row but still find a way to be considered among the best champions currently. Now in my personal opinion, or in my mind, there are 4 champions that instantly stand out. And those champions are as follows: Kindred, Gangplank, Echo, and Graves. All 4 of these champions, from what I remember, have gotten only nerfs in the past several patches. They have not received any actual buffs. They have all been changed to a point where Riot is essentially trying to balance them, but they still seem to be very strong champions, especially a Kindred. And I don't know about you guys, but I have faced some insanely skilled Gangplanks in the past week or so, to the point where it almost feels like the nerfs for Gangplank are just non-existent. But before we dive further into this video and the topic, the question of this video is, what champion do you think is always considered to be OP or just way too strong no matter how many nerfs they have received? And if you guys end up enjoying this more discussion type video and you want to see more, let me know by hitting the like button. So funny enough, all 4 of these champions somehow, whether it's an ability or in their lore, defy death. Because you have Kindred with her ultimate obviously defying death and overall just being a Grim Reaper. You have Gangplank, who in the lore technically defied death because he came back from when he should have been dead. You have Echo, who can defy death as well as long as he uses his ultimate just before he's about to die to go back in time. And I guess you have Graves, who's always smoking and is still alive. I'm not really sure about him, but either way, it's still pretty cool. But let's talk about the first of the 4 champions that always seems to be just insanely strong no matter how many nerfs they have received. Kindred. This is a very interesting champion to me because, as you see on your screen, she has gotten several nerfs over the course of several patches. She, he, or they, or whatever just consistently seem to be among the best champions to play in almost every single patch for the past several patches. And even as we speak right now, I still personally consider Kindred to be the best and scariest or strongest champion as of patch 6.10. But what about Kindred makes this champion just consistently so strong, even though they get nerfed over and over? I have to say, to me, the biggest reason is the fact that it's an ADC champion that also can jungle extremely successfully. All of the percent damage built into their kit, they have a dash that has a very low cooldown with a W that does a lot of damage that's annoying to deal with. The ultimate, which in my opinion is one of the most annoying abilities in the game because playing around it, if it's on the enemy team, is just so darn difficult. The slow provided on Kindred as well from the E ability, even though it's a ranged champion with plenty gap closers, is quite good as well. So I don't know, you put everything together and Kindred feels like an insanely strong champion, to the point where apparently Riot is just not able to nerf this champion to put him in a decent spot, one where it's not underpowered but not overpowered, and I feel like it will never happen because based on how things have been going so far, I feel like Kindred is just one of those champions that will be either extremely strong or extremely underpowered, never in the middle. But let's move on to the next champion I want to discuss, champion number 2 of the 4, Echo. So prior to Echo being extremely popular with the tank Echo build, I feel like Echo was considered to be a very okay type champion. He wasn't ever considered a popular champion or a very strong champion. He was always just kind of there. But then tank Echo happened. Everyone started to realize, you know what? On top of being really strong with these tank items, his kit just seems to be really good. And now ever since his popularity just absolutely exploded because of tank Echo, even if you don't build him tank, he still feels really good because his kit now, it just feels insanely strong. Think about it, he's technically supposed to be an assassin champion, but what does he have? He has a double dash which can go over walls and teleports to a target which can also dodge abilities. His passive does a lot of damage on the 3rd proc while also slowing the opponent and giving him move speed, not that he really needs a whole lot. His W passive gives him percent damage against tanks while still having an active effect that potentially gives him a ridiculously strong AoE stun, which on an assassin champion is definitely a little bit weird. And you have his ultimate, because if everything goes wrong, well, why not take something that Zed has but also add a heal, which is pretty much what Echo Ultimate is. Because you go back in time, just like Zed does, you go back to some other area that you used to be in, more or less you are probably safe, while Echo also has the potential to use it offensively and deal insane amount of AoE damage. So yeah, his kit clearly does feel a little bit overloaded. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Echo. He's one of my favorite champions to play in League of Legends, and I pray that they don't nerf him down to the ground because I love this guy. But you can't really deny the fact that it does feel like his kit seems a little bit overloaded ever since Tank Echo became popular and people realized, you know what, even though Tank Echo is ridiculously strong, you don't really need to build him Tank Echo to still be considered a very good champion. But let's go into champion number 3, Graves. I absolutely despise facing a Graves because he is just obnoxious to me. I mean, he's so hard to kill, he does a lot of damage, the range on his ultimate is quite long as well, the Q damage if you do it well enough is great, the W has a lot of potential, but the main thing to me honestly is the fact that how synergetic Phantom Dancer is with his kit, because now he does do more damage with critical strikes, so he does a ridiculous amount of damage. He is insanely tanky with Phantom Dancer and the passive on his E ability that gives him bonus stats. He just feels like one of those champions that does too much damage for how tanky they are. Now I know a lot of people are watching this video and they're probably rolling their eyes going like, you play Zed, you main Zed, he is an obnoxious champion as well. And even though at certain points I do agree with you, Zed can definitely without question feel obnoxious, I'm not denying that whatsoever. Other than maybe Gangplank, I don't feel like Zed is more obnoxious than the 3 other champions I'm talking about. But I don't know, Graves is just again another champion that just feels too strong. He's been nerfed several times, Riot has tried switching him to be much more of an offensive champion and not so much of a build tanky items, deal a lot of damage and never die. Doesn't seem to work, and it feels like he maybe even got stronger. And the final champion I'll be talking about in this video is Gangplank, another champion who has been considered a top pick for a very long time, but he finally got nerfed to the point where everyone thought he would be dead. Twice. Nope. The answer is still no. He's still very strong. If you put him in the right hands, he is an absolute monster. And even if you play him very so-so, as long as you get to late game, one barrel will pretty much win you the game. I still personally think he has one of the best ultimates in the game because not only does it do a lot of damage, the upgrades are fantastic. You get free assists while chilling in mid lane or top lane. You can set up a lot of plays because of the hefty slow that it applies and the move speed for allies. Overall, Gangplank is one of those champions that feels like a ticking time bomb. No matter how bad you are at him, if the game lasts too long, chances are you are going to find that one barrel that you need to just close off the game, do an insane amount of damage, probably like half HP to pretty much every single person it hits, maybe whack them with your true damage passive, and chances are you probably just killed someone or you won your team the fight. And just like every other champion that I mentioned, he has been nerfed several patches in a row, like I said, to the point where a lot of people thought he will be finally a dead champion and no one will play him, but trust me, he is definitely not a dead champion. He is still an absolute monster. But that is about it for this video, guys. I mean, it's just a topic I had on my mind that I thought I would discuss with you. I mean, if you guys enjoy these kind of videos where I just talk about some kind of topic that is obviously related to League of Legends like this one, then let me know in the comments below or by hitting the like button. I genuinely kind of enjoy making these kind of videos. So again, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know by doing what I just said. But either way, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate every one of you being here. And also, here are my favorite comments from the previous video's question where I asked you, what is your favorite content to see on my channel? But either way, guys, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you for the next video. Peace.